Maggie, you ought to plug it in right now.
No.
Well, honey, I guess they're happy again.
Yep.
On what little bit of grass is there.
Now on to the next task. We've got to get our garlic planted out here in the raised beds. But look here first.
Yeah, our carrots. That's the first time I've actually stopped and looked at them in a couple of days. And
They need to be thinned, I believe.
I don't think it would hurt them, but boy, they look good. This is
must
the prettiest fall carrots we've ever had.
Yeah. Half time we can't even get them to come.
I know, boy, they look really good. You might actually have you a carrot out of that.
Yep.
What do you want to do first? You want to pull these sweet potatoes out first or plant the garlic?
Whatever the boss man says.
Well, I say we go ahead and pull the sweet potatoes out because we may end up using one of those beds to plant garlic back into.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and pull the potatoes because, well, first off, it's probably been long enough anyways. And second, I'm expecting here in maybe a few days, we might potentially have a frost. We got some temperatures that are going to be getting down in the mid 30s. And so we want to get these out before they get frosted on.
Yep. And one reason being is we've always heard, we've never left them to the frost, but it'll mess up your potatoes if the frost kills that vine.
That's what I've always heard.
And we did, you know, when we got up the sweet potatoes, our main sweet potatoes, we had several people leaving the comments saying that they had actually tried leaving them till the frost bit them and it messed up the taste of the potatoes.
Yeah.
So we don't do that. The old timers around here have always said it would make, I've always heard it would make them rot in the ground, but
I just always heard it messed them up, made them not taste good.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
I don't know. I've never took that chance, and I ain't about to take that chance.
Nope, so we're going to get
I don't want to lose my sweet potatoes. But I think we can plant this bed over here with garlic. So one of y'all go get a rake and sort of smooth that out some. So we might actually plant garlic in this bed right there and that bed right there, Megan.
Okay.
Because both of them are up still where they don't have to have nothing added to them. This one, I think, has sunk down pretty good, too. I like to know where that stuff goes.
I know.
Look at this one. I mean, it's sunk plumb down below that top board there.
Hey, look. It's like this kind of
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's my ring.
Well, these vines we can throw in there to these cows. Since it's right there.
That works for me.
I'm pulling it, Mama.
You see how all these holes and everything's in this bed? Just take and rake all that down smooth. Fill up that hole right there.
Right here's some taters.
Rake all that down. Make sure the weeds are out of it.
So this little vine right here's got a pile of good looking, those are my size.
That's your size there, ain't it?
Yep. It's a whole pile of them under here. Look at that. Yay.
Come on.
No footballs.
Look at here.
Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. This is the size I want.
Mama,
right here.
I'm getting it.
All right.
You better be careful. I'm noticing that they're breaking off at the top of the ground and then you don't realize where the plant was.
This is the plant I just pulled.
Was it?
Yeah.
But I've done pulled off two over here, and then I have to go back and hunt for where the actual potatoes are because you can't see it. So just be careful when you go to pulling them.
Mom, I'm chopping it. I'm getting it.
Two cows!
Mom, look. I'm making a good pile. Look.
All right.
Is the what gonna break down? Yeah, they'll break down eventually. Make sure you get it all good and smooth.
Dig down in that dirt and see if
Hey,
you can
look.
find some potatoes.
See all around the edge over there? Just take your rake and fill that in. And look, I'm gonna show you. There's a low spot right in here. Drag some of the dirt from over here where it's a little bit higher into this low spot right there and get it all even. It's where they come, where we make our compost down there in the cow pasture, and it's rocks from that. Well, apparently we didn't plant no purple potatoes in this bed, did we?
I ain't found none yet.
I think that other bed up there may have some.
Well, I'm tickled with these.
Now these potatoes here, they've kind of been neglected. Because they never, you know, they were planted all through that drought and they suffered then.
These were just our extra slips and we were like, well, have at it.
We just stuck them in a bed here because we had room.
Yep.
Those are nice. Mm-hmm. That's a really nice one.
Oh, I know, somebody better be eating some sweet potatoes.
Nah.
The cool thing about sweet potatoes is they keep so good. Like, they keep so much better than white potatoes.
People.
Well, they'll keep for almost 2 years probably, won't they?
The one, I still got some in the basement we've been eating on last year.
I know I say this every year, but next year I want to build me a box. I want to start a ton of slips and see if I can't.
Get rid of some?
Yeah, get rid of some. Because sweet potato slips around here are they're just hard to find. So unless you start your own, you're stuck with what limited supply the store has.
I was getting a hold of them.
I just trapped a Toto in a bush and look who's outside you.
Well, and if you buy them from Tractor Supply, you just get a few little plants, don't you?
Yeah, you get six slips for what is it, $5 or something?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Sir. You should be able to buy a whole bundle of like 25 for $5.
Highway robbery.
I got a plan for you.
Maggie, put those in the bucket over there. Get these potatoes here. Right there, as soon as I broke it.
You gotta be gentle.
Daddy, you gotta be gentle. Look how gentle I am. You don't want to be talking. Daddy, look how gentle I am.
I would dig kind of deep too, because some of them I found were deep. Yeah, like right there. There's one.
Daddy, look how gentle I'm going.
It's looking real good, Jacob. You about got it ready for us, don't you?
Yeah. What do you mean, Daddy? I'm digging.
I think this bed and that bed he's in may be the beds we planting potatoes, because this one, in garlic.
Ew. Look, Daddy.
You done good. I do believe that we'll use these two beds right here for our garlic.
What are we gonna do with this?
I thought you wanted to put them at the trellis.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
Now there ain't near as many plants in this bed because I planted around that spoon tomato that was in here.
Right.
What in the world is that? It's an onion. We must have missed that when we pulled our onions.
I guess so.
I was like, that's the funniest looking sweet potato I ever saw.
Did you know that tomatoes will climb a trellis?
Yes, I noticed that.
I didn't know they would do that.
Is that not the coolest thing ever?
We should show that. Let me. So I was out here picking fresh green beans the other day, and I noticed this tomato. I mean, I guess it's climbing it.
Yeah, and it done it on its own. We didn't do it.
One of these random tomato plants that come up, and it has climbed all the way up this green bean trellis.
Why don't we make a tomato trellis?
Think so?
Maybe we should do our tomatoes out here this year.
Yeah.
I mean next year. Well, it's getting time, like we've planted green beans here for the past, what, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
It's time to put them somewhere else anyways. Okay. I think it would be cool
but
to try to
grow
grow a tomato.
I can't figure out, maybe the green beans like reached out and grabbed them and made it go up like that. I don't know.
I've seen people, well, you know, Aaron put the cattle panel up and done his in that way.
They've growed all the way up there to the top by themselves. We didn't do that. I honestly didn't even realize that tomato was still there.
Well, that don't look like the spoon tomato.
It's not. It's a cherry tomato.
Where did it come from?
I have no idea. I didn't know it was there till the other day.
I ain't found no potatoes yet. There we go. There's some of them purple ones.
Yeah, I bet these are purple because mine's dark. Yep.
Mama, here you go. Eat it.
Quit. I don't want it. You eat it.
Mom, watch out. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Well, they sure have plenty of vine on them. If there's much vines here, there ought to be a potato under there somewhere.
I'm trying to.
I
I pulled up 2 so far, and that's all I got. Hear me?
Yeah.
Old water hose.
Yeah, your climbing tomato's gonna be gone after this. But if it frosts, it don't matter no way, does it?
Nope. It's gonna be gone anyway.
Look what I found.
Oh, you found one. Andy, I think they're way down in there. I just dug really deep and found that one, like really deep.
Really?
Yeah.
Here you go, Mom.
Yeah, look, they're like way down. They are way down in there.
Mama, look at Daddy.
Way, way down in there.
Look at Daddy.
I see him.
I'm digging. Mama, look.
Yeah, you found a little one too, didn't you? Yeah, dig deeper than that.
Hey! Yeah! Yeah!
Well, raised bed, purple potatoes in raised bed was a flop, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Maybe they didn't get enough sun up here in this bed.
Well, the good news is we got plenty of those from down at the creek.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal, but I am a little bit surprised that no more than that in there.
Hope I can find them.
Like you said, maybe it takes the purple ones longer to make. Because you know, everywhere that we've dug so far, the big ones was the red ones.
That's true.
The purple ones were still
Decent size.
good size.
Yeah. I was gonna carry part of it.
I got it. Hey, we got one more sweet potato up there in that pot. About forgot it.
We got us a nice 5-gallon bucket full. How's it looking down here, little man?
He's got it in good shape.
All right. Last year we got that, whatever that was, that fly or whatever in it.
Yeah, that leaf, allium fly.
Something like that. We decided to, oh, you're gonna stab yourself. But we decided to buy new garlic this year and just start all over since we had that issue.
Yep, and so our garlic come from Hoss. Now, I do think that for the most part they're sold out now.
Are they?
Of garlic, yes. You can still check on their website and see, but I think they're sold out. So this is, I cannot say that word, it's some kind of red garlic.
Red?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Watch out, honey. You gotta bust them up. So, let's keep these separate, y'all.
It's very cool. They send it with this little card, and the growing instructions and how to plant it and everything is on the back.
How far do they recommend planting this apart?
This garlic is known to be a national taste test winner in the soft neck division. Garlic will grow best when competition with weeds is reduced. Keep weeds at a minimum with frequent shallow cultivation. Plant in the early fall. Plant cloves about 8 to 12 inches apart. Create a furrow in the soil and plant the cloves 2 to 3 inches deep.
Well, the way we're gonna prevent weeds in this is once our garlic starts coming up, emerging, I don't know, I say once it's probably this tall, we'll go back and put out a really, really thick layer of hay.
Well, that protects the garlic through the winter,
It does that too,
yeah.
But it also keeps the weeds down, and then it keeps the weeds down in the summertime too, once you know, it starts forming back up. Because garlic will stay in a bed till midsummer, won't it?
Yeah, till like the last couple of years, ours has been ready in like May or June. It should stay. Everything I've read says August, but I mean, every time we've ever growed it, it's always been.
It always comes off earlier.
Yeah.
But so you got to think about that when you go to plant your garlic. It's going to be in a spot for a very long time. It's not something that's going to come out first thing in the spring. So wherever you plant it, you want to make sure that it's going to be okay for it to be there.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be in your way come springtime.
Yep.
Because we've run into that too and be like, well, we're just gonna pull it up.
So this is a soft neck garlic here, but you do it the same way as you do a hard neck garlic. You gotta bust these things apart.
But you try not to get the skin off.
Yeah, somehow you gotta bust them apart.
Let me help you.
Grab another one down there. We got several to do. Golly. Now how'd you get that so easy?
Because I mess with garlic all the time.
Mama, how are you supposed to do it?
You gotta do it gently so you don't break the skin if you can help it. So, all right. Each one of these things is a bulb.
You can feel the cloves in there.
Each individual clove is what you plant. You don't plant the whole bulb. So each clove will be a garlic plant.
There you go.
Thanks, dear.
That one come out of the skin.
Yeah, I had one that did too.
There you go.
There's several cloves in this garlic.
Gotta cut it. Once you get it started, it's easy.
Well, I gotta say that I ain't never done nothing that was this hard to split. Maybe it's where it's a soft neck.
Maybe.
Mine's.
Because I split a bunch of this off and now I've got right here and it won't come off.
Like that right
8
there.
to 12 inches apart.
What can I do?
Yeah, I might have got a little close on that.
Daddy, what can I do? Time. What can I do, Mama?
You can go on the other side and do them on this side over here. Do what Daddy tells you though.
Now push them down deep.
Okay.
Actually, leave them up for a minute so I can see where I've put them, because now I don't know how far apart I am from that row.
Come here, garlic.
I don't even see the top of that one.
Do you want me to work on splitting some of that other?
Yes, yeah, go ahead. We're going to end up with a whole lot of garlic again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I'd ordered that much, but
German white garlic.
When you bust these cloves open, they turn out to be a whole lot.
Yep. I think this is what we've been planting.
Yeah, the German white's what we've had forever.
So this is how I do this. See that neck sticking out?
So, hey, Maggie, make sure when you push them in that they're going in with the root towards the bottom.
It'll help let them loose a little bit here.
Don't put them in the way I've got them stuck. Just push them on down.
Look.
Yep. Just try to be gentle so the skin don't rip off of them.
Is that 2 or is that 1?
That's just one.
Hey, is this the garlic that we played with? Looks like it.
It's the same kind.
Once you get these started, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you something. If the rest of this garlic takes up as much room as that right there just did,
You got another handful right here too.
we're gonna have more than just 2 raised beds full of garlic. So over half of that bed right there is in that red garlic.
Well, we really don't have to plant all of it.
Well, this be what it'll be.
Well, here's your German white.
Why don't you come on up here and eat instead of lowing?
Come here, Cookie Coo. Cookie Cookie.
Yeah, now these cloves is what I'm used to. This is a whole lot bigger clove.
Here, Cookie. Well, here. Look.
That's it right there?
No, that ain't all.
Bring it all down here.
I could carry it all in one handful.
What I like to do is space them. Go ahead and get them spaced where you want them. So I got there. You know, I've got just rows of garlic here. And then as long as you've got some good loose dirt, you just work that thing down into the soil. Just like that. And garlic, unless you have a problem with that particular fly, or it was like a leaf miner or a fly or something, garlic's one of the, in my opinion, easiest things to grow there is. You kind of stick it in the ground and forget it. This German garlic here, it's a lot more like what we're used to. This has got the big cloves on it. The bigger the clove, to me, the easier it is to work with.
Hey, Cookie Coo.
Let's move to this bed. Y'all got the others busted up yet? Y'all excuse the annoying cow back here behind us. We think Cookie might be coming in heat or something. She ain't. She's getting on my nerves. Anyways, we ended up with 2 raised beds full of garlic here. This one right here is most likely planted just a little bit too close. I might have gotten just a little bit close on this little section right here, and that was the German red garlic. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we ended
German purple too.
Yeah, we ended up planting some German white garlic, which is what we always plant. Then we've got that red soft neck garlic. We've never grown that before. Well, we've never grown any of these others. We've got purple garlic, and then we've got German red garlic. And so I'm curious to see how all those do and how they fare up against the German white and see if we like them just as good. But the German white by far had the way bigger cloves than any of the rest of it, which it's not, that's not bad or good. It just makes it easier to plant when you have bigger cloves. But anyways, I'm gonna be interested in seeing how they fare and seeing. Oh my gosh! Hush!
She's not listening.
Lord, she is loud. But I'm interested in seeing just how well this right here does, because I know I've got it too thick, but I'm not going to pull it out because I've got it perfectly in this bed and I've got it perfect in that bed, and it's just going to make what it's going to make there. But I think 2 raised beds will be plenty of garlic for us, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is like the first year in 2 or 3 years that we've planted in the raised bed.
Yeah.
Golly.
We're going to have to get away from her.
Yeah. Well, it's actually time now for me to go start some field work. So this is my kind of work now. All right, so now I'm getting ready to plant some cover crops here. I have become a firm believer in cover cropping stuff, especially through the winter time when you're not growing anything else. This patch down here, this is our creek garden, has already got some pretty good soil in it anyways, so we plant crimson clover usually every fall on this patch here. Just about all the cover crops that are wintertime cover crops, deer like to eat. And that's one thing we'll do down here is with this crimson clover. I'll leave the fence down for now, but especially once we get closer to springtime when we actually want that growth to be happening so we have something to plow back under, we'll put the fence back up so the deer will stay out of it, because if not, we won't have anything to plow under down here. They'll keep it mowed down short, and they did all winter long last year, didn't they? So that's another cool thing, really. You know, if you don't have a really good place local that you can go buy cover crop seeds, or if you don't want to order some of them off the internet, you can literally go to like Tractor Supply or Walmart or something and buy some of these food plot mixes. And just about everything that's in a food plot mix is something that we typically use for a cover crop in the wintertime. So, you know, it works out two ways there. You can have your hunting spot and bait the deer in with your cover crop and then plow it under in the springtime and use it to help feed your garden for the following year. So I'm just going to disc this up. It's not like, you know, to me, planting these cover crops, you do want to have the soil prepped pretty good, but it's not like planting your garden in the springtime, because most of the weeds that are out there here in just a couple weeks are going to get killed from the frost. So you don't really have to worry about having those weeds chopped up and completely killed, but you do want to, like I said, you do want to have it tore up enough you get good soil to seed contact. So what I'm going to do down here is just disc over all this, get it worked up pretty good, get it where all my rows are knocked back down, my ridges from my rows, they're knocked back down smooth. And then we'll sling the seed over it, and then I'll adjust the disc, and we'll come back over it and just barely cover them up with the disc and be done with it. But to start with though, when I go to cutting this land, most sets of disc are adjustable. And I've got mine set right now to where they're cutting at the sharpest angle, and that means they'll do the most damage when you go out there. When I go to cover my seed up, I'll adjust them to where the discs are running more straight, and that just barely cuts any dirt at all, but it'll cover, you know, just barely cover these seed up. And these clover seeds are really small seeds anyways, so you don't hardly even need to put them in the ground much at all. But I just got my fingers crossed that this down here is not too wet, because last time when I bush hogged, what was that, a couple days ago? It was wet. So I hope that it's dried out enough since then that we can do this without making too big a mess. Well, it's just a little bit wet. but it worked. Right here's what happens when you work land with a set of discs when it's wet though, and you don't have disc cleaners in there. You get it wrapped all up in there, and once it starts, it'll just keep on packing and packing and packing in between your discs. I don't think we're gonna have that problem up there at the potato patch and stuff though, because it ain't that wet up there. But this old bottom down here, she holds the moisture. So on these little garden patches, I just use my old chest spreader here. And so this is crimson clover seed. And is that gonna sit there? Look at the stink bugs that's in that bag. You see them? Yeah. So you see the seed looks like a gray coating on it. You see that gray coating? The seed itself is actually quite a bit smaller than that. And it's got this coating on it. And what that is inoculant. And where clover is a nitrogen fixer, you have to have an inoculant on there which provides the bacteria that is needed for the plant to fix nitrogen in the roots. And so this seed right here is already coated, but the seed that I'm going to be planting up at the other two patches, I'll have to add the inoculant to it myself. Nitrogen fixers, like clover, will pull nitrogen out of the air, and then on the roots there'll be these little nodules where the nitrogen is stored. And so when you go to plow up that clover in the spring, and it usually works best if you can plow it up when it's blooming, when it's in full bloom. But when you go to do that in the spring, you'll have all that, once you've killed the plant, like plowed it under, all that nitrogen gets released back into your soil and is there for your plants to use. So I like to use some type of clover or something in them because it is a nitrogen fixer and it'll help replenish nitrogen in your soil, and it just pulls it naturally out of the air. No fertilizers, no nothing like that needed. So I like to sling out my cover crops fairly heavy, quite a bit heavier than the recommended rate. And in my opinion, you can't get too heavy with a wintertime cover crop. So if I was expecting rain, like in the next few days, with this little seed right here, I wouldn't even have to cover it up with anything. I would just let it go just like this, leaving it laying on top of the ground. But we're not expecting any rain at all anytime soon, so that's why we're going to disc it in. So I'm going to straighten out my disc now. Most all of your 3-point hitch disc are adjustable in some way or another. Just don't all of them just this easy. Some of them have a bolt you have to take out to adjust them. But pretty much what I'm doing is straightening these discs so they're not angled near as much, so they're just throwing a little bit of dirt instead of a whole lot of dirt. And that will just barely cover up those clover seeds. I've done what I'm fixing to do right here, covering these seeds up. I've done numerous different ways. You can go back over them with some type of drag. You can go over them with a cultipacker like what we got, and up there on the big field, that's probably what I'd do. There's just numerous ways you can go about covering up seed after you've planted them like this. Oh, I did see a couple of purple sweet potatoes out there.
Did you?
Yeah, they stuck out like a sore thumb. Where they, you know, after I'd cut them open with the disc, they were just glowing purple. It didn't look like nothing big though. It looked like little ones. All right, so I'll run over this next pass here with just a little bit more speed probably. And just go over it one more time and this is done. Got that one taken care of.
Yep.
It's one less thing we got to do now. Y'all, in my opinion, getting your cover crop on a garden now, we ain't always done this.
No, it's something, what, the last probably, what, 4
or
or
5
5
years?
Yeah.
And we started doing a lot of research on cover cropping and stuff, and I honestly can tell you, I think within those last 4 or 5 years, we can tell a difference in our soil.
Well, I'm going to tell you where I think you can tell a difference, not even down here, but at our field corn.
Yeah.
Where we planted the field corn where we always have cover crops, and then you planted in that other field.
Comparing it to Daddy's field.
That's only, I mean, and it can't be the land because it ain't but a hop, skip, and a jump to that other field. I think that had something to do with it.
And that field done so much better with corn than the other field did. Like I said, I mean, I think it's extremely important because you got to think when we're plowing this soil constantly and we're in there working it all the time, we're constantly doing damage to it, really.
Yeah.
And so when you plant something on there that can be plowed back under, you're adding organic material back to the soil that the earthworms and the microbes and all that can feed on as it breaks down. You know, instead of just leaving it out there bare soil. I think it's something really important that needs to be done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and honestly, I would rather see a field covered in weeds than see a bare field, because you need something growing on top of that soil
to give it life back.
Yeah, to help feed the life that's in the soil.
Yeah.
And it helps keep it from eroding and everything else during the season when we're not using it. But let's go back up to the house and I'll show what I'm going to be planting in the other 2 plots.
Okay.
And y'all, you probably won't get to watch none of that because it's really going to be rinse, wash, and repeat of what you just saw down here.
Same thing, times what, 2 more fields?
Yep, times 2. It's just going to be a different thing going in. So guys, this right here is the mixture I'm going to be using up here on my other fields. This will be going on the corn field and on the potato patch where we had potatoes this year and where we had the sorghum patch this year. This is what's going to be going there. Then this is a mixture of, we've got Austrian winter peanut. I didn't even know that was in there. Triticale, Falcon oats. We got a hairy vetch, we got crimson clover, we got annual ryegrass, we got 2 different types of annual ryegrass, a radish, a rape, and that's it. So this is like a combination of just about all the wintertime cover crops put together into one mixture, and it's called it's called Ray's Crazy Fall Mix. I'm pretty sure you can actually buy this online straight from their website, but I get it from a good friend of mine who happens to be a seed dealer. That's who I get it from. But I do think you can go online and buy this from them. But I've found that in the poor soils that we have up there on that upland, having a mixture like this works a lot better than just planting like say straight crimson clover or straight whatever. Just having you a mixture works a whole lot better for that type of stuff. And then here is my inoculant that'll be going in on it. And I think this little bag here is supposed to do 2 of these 50-pound bags. So, anyways, I guess that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the day. And like I said, it's just going to be rinse, wash, and repeat of what y'all just seen me do down there. Except we just got a different kind of seed. So, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and hopefully you learned just a little bit of something.
Yep,
I said it before you, didn't I?
You did. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Yeah, I guess that's going to about wrap it up. No cooking today.
No cooking. And something else we do want to throw out there, y'all, is when y'all see this video, we're going to be roughly taking about a week off.
Yeah, we decided to take a little time off just to spend with family, you know, kind of unplugging from the internet for a little while.
But yeah, we're taking some much needed time off. So,
yeah, so
life will still be going on here for us, but
yeah, but we decided to take a little time away. So the next video will come out. We put out a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're going to take off the upcoming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we'll see you on the following Monday. And I hope y'all all have a blessed week. And anyways, guys, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.